Welcome to this program.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, this is lesson number 11, Frankenstein's monster. The reason I didn't narrate before this is because I'm gonna sketch it over again here. So the stuff I sketched before that, the character I just sketched, I'm not going to use. He's pretty cool, but I didn't like him, so I'm going to go ahead and sketch this in real time. And I like to. Wow, somebody was tearing out across the street. Wow, my hair is freaky. I look like Dr. Frankenstein. Anyway, I got my Blackwing 602, Palomino 602 pencil, and just sketching it out. Yeah, that first one I did, I sped it up a few times because I didn't want to use it, so I didn't want to start the narration there. So anyway, what I'm kind of channeling Jack Davis. He's one of my favorite artists from Mad Magazine, and I wrote him a letter once. Oh my God, I never heard back, but I wrote him a letter when I was in my 20s, just telling him, just gushing and stuff, telling him how I admire him. So that was about, God, 40 years ago maybe. Anyway, on this one I decided I wanted to make the space between his nose and his top lip longer. And you know, a lot of times too, when I do these sketches too, I end up not copying them exactly, you know, on the window painting, but it's a jump off point. Sometimes I copy them really close, sometimes I don't. I ended up not copying this one exactly. I made his nose a little bit more bulbous and his eyes a little bit bigger. But he's pretty cool. I love doing Halloween characters especially. And one of the reasons why I decided to do this one was because John, from John's window painting, requested it. He's like, do that Jack Davis Frankenstein. I did him on an Arctic Circle restaurant when I had all the Arctic Circle restaurant chains. If you live in the Northwest, you know who I'm talking about. And I guess they have Arctic Circles other places too, but not so much anymore. They closed them all down mostly. So what are you guys doing for Halloween? I mean, it's still, here it is, what is it? Fall's just beginning. And I'm already getting into Halloween. I've seen some other people do some Halloween splashes too. It's pretty cool. So I'm just going along. I just, you know, build up the lines. I start off with a lot of like searching lines, and now I'm doing more defined lines and picking which lines I choose to use to finish up the sketch drawing. That one video I have, Frankenstein, is really popular. A lot of people like that one. I'm getting a lot of views on that. This time of year I get a lot of views on that. And also the other, I think it's tutorial 111 on the channel. Goofy Ghost. If you haven't seen Goofy Ghost, that's a pretty cool one. A lot of people like that one too. I'm pretty happy with how he's coming out so far. And usually I just kind of quit now. Like when I was doing commercial work full time, I would quit with just a sketch like this. But since I'm doing a tutorial, I'm going to put in some of the tone and the shading and, you know, create highlights and shadows and stuff and do a little bit more detail. This video is not a terribly long one. I think it's about 44 minutes, so still pretty long, but not as long as the one I did the other day, the Happy Jack one. I think that was the longest video I ever made, 75 minutes. So this one's probably about 30 minutes shorter than that, but still pretty long. I always get a lot of views on the videos that have anything to do with lettering, because last week's video got 50% more views just by saying lettering, and it's a short video too. And I'll probably do some more lettering stuff later, but for right now I want to keep these lessons more about characters. He's kind of cool and creepy. Yeah, Jack Davis is amazing. I think he died in 2016 or something, or maybe it was before that. He was 91. I'm pretty sure he was from Georgia. But man, he is just incredible. If you don't know who Jack Davis is, check him out. And once you see him, you'll recognize his style. He did stuff everywhere. I mean, absolutely everywhere. Commercials, TV, video, like I said, Mad Magazine, TV Guide, whatever, you know. Everybody and anybody really wanted him. He was really in demand. And although I'll never achieve his level of expertise, one can try. But yeah, he was just so, and he was fast too. He drew a lot and he was really fast. You'll see when I start painting this, the type of line work he did. So I made some notes on this too about him. He had a big jaw, squinty eyes, or sneaky eyes, I wrote there. I'm filling in his facial wrinkles and lines. Yeah, if you don't get it right the first time, do another sketch. If you don't like it, just do it over and over and over. The more you draw, the better you get. I actually did a couple of them there. There's my little box where I keep all my pencils, and that's my portable pencil sharpener. I have this sharpener too. I think I told you about the Halo by Scot. This is cool. It's an incredible sharpener. You just put it in and it sharpens it. But that sharpener that's in the video came with this one, so it was kind of cool. And I love these pencils too. Those Buckwing 602s are nice. It's the pencil Chuck Jones used. You know, when I do these, it makes me wish I had gotten some wood and did a cutout. Oh my God, look at my hair. It looks like Frankenstein's peeking up over the grass. The fall grass, the gray fall grass. And there's some shadows on the picture because the tripod I have there, one of the legs is creating a kind of a shadow a little bit near the top. I'm just pointing out some of the highlights on the side of his head and the top. I'm kind of trying to reach around the tripod. If you guys haven't picked up my Halloween sketchbook, you ought to. It's $15. And you just go to my PayPal, Scott Campbell at Comcast.net, and when it says send money, send $15 and then just type in Halloween sketchbook, and it's an ebook. I'll email it to you, but it's got a bunch of Frankensteins in it like this, probably about 10 different Frankensteins that I did sketches of. And whole body stuff too, with his hands and his arms. But yeah, it's got about, I think it's about 70 pages maybe of Halloween pictures. I have 4 ebooks now, and that's the one to get if you haven't gotten it already. So I'm wrapping it up here. He's like, hey, hey, hey. I'm just beefing up certain lines. This sketch will probably go out to one of my patrons next time. I'm going to send out sketches in November, signed original sketches. Maybe I'll send this one to John. I think he'd like it, since he was the one that requested this. He's one of my top students. I remember when he first started 3 or 4 years ago. He had lots of questions. He was an artist already, but still you have to learn the medium of window painting. And he caught on quick. Now he's just thriving. He's really doing well. His shoulders were a little high, so but again, when I start the painting, I don't copy it exactly anyway. But for demonstration purposes, I wanted to, get it pretty close. Oh, yeah, and he has kind of a broad neck, at least the one I do. I think that about does it. Here I am taking off last week's. I did that all in one motion. Look at all that. That's all of it right there.
Yes, right.
All right, I got my guy taped to the wall. It's a little bit windy today, which is nice. This I sped up. I have the GoPro going too, but I decided to use the footage from my camera phone. I use my camera phone a lot. It works great. The camera I use to tape this is a camcorder. So I have 3 of them. I have this camcorder and my GoPro, and then also my camera phone. And I utilize all 3 of them. And I don't fill it in solid white because I'm just not worried about it, because I'm going to go another coat of white. And then by the time I put all the green on it and the highlights and the shadows, it's going to be fine. I don't need like a solid base coat of white. When I do Disney-esque stuff that's more solid and not as choppy, or I don't know what you call this style, it's just kind of more rough and stuff. When I do the Disney stuff, I make it more, solid, because I want the colors to be really solid. So yeah, I sped this up like 3 times. And as usual, if I don't like it, I just erase it, or I go over it, So I'm pretty much following the sketch. I start following the sketch, but by the time I start painting, I kind of changed his nose, and like I said, it made his eyes bigger too. Still sped up 3 times. Really quickly just go over it, another coat of white. Now we got real time. 2-inch foam. And when I did the witch, the Halloween witch, I used more of a kind of a muted green, but here I'm using a really kind of bright, almost Kawasaki green. And when I did commercial work, I would probably have a roller with this color in it. And it would be a lot faster. Just using a 4-inch roller, I would probably do this maybe twice as fast. But since I'm just teaching now, I'm not doing commercial work, I can just take my time and use the 2-inch foam. And I didn't do a second coat of green. I just kind of slopped it on because, again, this style lends itself to a more kind of a rough look, and by the time you get all your highlights, your shadows, and the black on there, you don't notice. So you can just put that color on. I'm just kind of slapping it on. I think it was pretty fast anyway. I don't know how long this has taken so far, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. There, I'm washing out the foam brush. I only have one 2-inch foam brush. I just have like 60. I just throw them in the water and go to the next one. Throw it in the water, go to the next one. But here I wash it out each time I change the color. Now I'm going in with the same color. I added a little bit of blue to it, darken it up. But you know what? I don't think I like it. I want to get the GoPro in there so you can really see what I'm up to. I want to try and keep doing that. You know, when I make these videos, I move in closer. I think you can see. So here is where I changed the nose. I made it a little bit more bulbous, because I think Boris Karloff's nose is a little more round on the end. Not like that upturned nose like I did in Frankenstein. It's more like a Stephen King nose. But I didn't care for this green. I want it to be a little bit darker, the shadow. So I grabbed some blue. I'm just going to dump some of that in there. I'm so messy. But it's a dirt floor, so it doesn't matter. I can do whatever I want. I don't know if the local colors dry completely, the base green, but it doesn't matter even if it's a little bit wet on wet. It's kind of, it just doesn't make any difference, as you will see as I progress. But this green's darker, and if you're doing wet on wet, it's kind of cool to have a darker color too, because you can kind of blend it in and stuff if you want. But I'm not really doing that. I'm using this 2-inch foam and just getting down on it. Like when I did the witch and the jack-o'-lantern stuff, and actually the Happy Jack one I think I used a brush too. But when I did the witch and some of the other earlier videos, you know, I used the small brushes, the script liners, and also the flats, and did these really clean highlights and shadows. Oh, look at that big drip by his nose. But this is quicker. It's a lot quicker, and normally how I work on windows would be like this, where I would just go in there and just attack it. Although sometimes I would spend the time to do those other types of shadows in the other videos with a, you know, brush, really fine lines and really clean. But this, I'm doing it rough. And this is indicative of Jack Davis's style. It's just really, you know, he's all over the place, and he's got big, thick, bold lines, and he's got thin lines, and it adds a kind of a spontaneity to it. It just gives it a freshness. It's dynamic, and it looks alive and organic, and it's really cool. As opposed to my Disney type stuff, which is more clean and cute, and which is nice too. It's just a different style. Here I'm going in with the light green, but I end up doing it lighter even. I don't know what happened here. I got it stuck in some other green and kind of contaminated it. And I think I go back in and I end up doing more highlights and stuff. Sometimes you can do double highlights and whatever. But check out these chunky strokes. They're just bold, and I think they're so cool. There's just so many different styles, of illustration and window painting, like the characters you do and stuff. You can develop any look you want, or you can do several different styles. I have a few that I do. I kind of jump around, but you can see how much flair you can get with a 2-inch foam by turning it on end and then taking the flat area of it. And he's coming along, and I move back because I want to see what it looks like, because when you're close up it's hard to check it and stuff, but when you move back you can really see what's happening. But see how I work the brush? It's just it's almost like a Bob Ross thing, it's just big sweeping lines. And the lighting wasn't too bad because it was really overcast that day, and it was just nice out. It was about 68 degrees or something, 65, and the wind, there's a little bit of wind which helps the paint dry. Here I'm going to work on the black, and when I do this type of black I use a cheaper black. I don't use my golden high flow acrylic black because that stuff is spendy. But I found out you can get it for like, I don't know, like $120 a gallon or something, or maybe it's less than that, but then you got to pay shipping. But I used to pay $130, that included shipping, for a gallon of cell vinyl, because a gallon would last me about a year. But then I also buy gallons of this stuff I get it for like $28 a gallon of black, this is just regular house paint black. And at Sherwin-Williams they have it's called peppercorn black. This is actually a mist tint that I picked up at Lowe's. I think it was $1.25 for that little jar there. See? See my black? But yeah, so for this type of stuff I just use the regular blacks. Sometimes I'll use it to fill in the mouth too and stuff, just so I don't use any of the good black. I mean the golden fluid acrylic or high flow acrylic black, carbon black. I'm watching my foam brush. Okay, there it is. See? It's a mist tint. Oh, that's weird. It's just a different angle of the same shot from a different camera. The other one was a GoPro. Sometimes when I edit, I don't get it all right. But I really like his expression so far. I think it's cool. And again, he doesn't look like the sketched totally. But I think he looks good. I like his nose, more bulbous like that. I think this is another mist tint I had. It's kind of a, and there I'm just using a, is that the 2-inch foam or 1-inch? Oh no, it's 2-inch foam too. And these are all in real time. But I'm just putting it on there, you know, I'm not worried about this, the solidity of it or how opaque it is. Now this is also great for the highlights on his hair. It's perfect. But you can see how I'm just like slopping it on. All in real time, real quick. See, this would have made a great cutout too. I think that's what I meant earlier I was talking about is, you know, putting these on wood would have been cool. Could have put them out in the yard. Put Happy Halloween. And then I'm going in with a, like a lighter teal color, kind of light blue. It's a double highlight. And sort of a dry brush effect. But you see how easy that is? You just got to do it and don't be afraid to dive in. Do some highlights on his crazy vest thing, whatever it is. And even though this doesn't look like a particular Frankenstein that Jack Davis ever did, because his Frankensteins, they look kind of like this, but they, you know, they have their own look. There's a little shadow under the eyelid. But yeah, his stuff, but it's in the style. You know, this is kind of like his style. He works really quick and keeps it dynamic and fun. Yeah, I don't think I even used any of the flats or the script liners for any of the colors on this one. The highlights or the shadows. Here I kind of didn't like his eyeball. It was like too big, and I want him looking more kind of weird and kind of like, I don't want to say stoned, but kind of half awake or half alive. And I'm just going in and scraping off some of the excess stuff, cleaning it up, getting ready for the black. But see the highlights and the shadows, how they work, and they're just so fast. This is one of the fastest styles. Toby Tyler is really a great window painter too, and he's kind of got a style somewhat like this. It's painterly and quick, but he's a really good artist too, really good draftsman. So here's the golden high flow acrylic. This is the one I push now, and it's about the same cost as cell vinyl. So now I'm going in with the smaller brushes to do the details. But I like his eyes here. One of them's kind of higher than the other. It makes him look really kind of goofy, you know. He's like so I usually use that tiny brush, and then I use a 1/4-inch flat MAC 162 and a 1/2-inch MAC 162. Those are good brushes for doing the outline in the black. Trying to hold the GoPro at the same time while doing this. So if I look like I'm a little shaky, it's because I got the camera. Yeah, I love his eyes, how they're kind of lopsided. I washed this out because I'm going to go ahead and do the... Oh, I see. I'm doing some kind of a yellow. It's like a little yellow I'm adding to the bottom of the iris. I think I grabbed some of that black in it, so I kind of goofed it up, but it still looks fine. Go over it one more time. There, that's okay. It'll be fine. I like his eyes. They're just so weird. He has like zombie eyes, kind of. I think this is the quarter-inch. This is the quarter-inch brush, and you can see I'm just kind of attacking it, and then I pull it up and get those crazy choppy lines. But it creates a dynamism. It's dynamic. The variety of those lines give it just kind of some kind of life. Yeah, I think John's gonna like this one. Notice there I don't go all the way through his teeth. You don't really have to. And I start getting into some, so I rub it on my pants to make it so it's like dry brush. You see how I did that? And then I take it and just do little thin lines. Creates a pretty cool shadow. So you see one direction, I can do it and make a thin line, lift it up, or I can grab it on the end and do a little bit thicker lines. He's a goofy one. This paint is so nice, it flows like ink. I mean, it is just black and opaque. I've tried some other ones. There's the Createx, which is not bad, the opaque black. And then there's that Deco Art patio paint. The black is good too. But this stuff is, and also Ronin Aqua Coat black. But you know, this is just most responsive paint. The Ronin Aqua Coat, it's kind of heavy and it's glossy too, and it tends to drip a little more. But it's really good. It's not bad. But this stuff is the closest to cell vinyl that I've found, and I think it's more durable than cell vinyl. Cell vinyl didn't always hold up good in the rain. So he's coming alive now. You can see the difference between the black, the cheap black, or the regular house paint black, and you can see how much blacker the golden high flow acrylic is. There, it kind of started to drip a little. Now I'm doing some more of those kind of hatchy looking lines. That's the other thing too, is usually when I'm painting, doing commercial work, I'd have this in my hand, the cup of black paint, and I could dip it in. But here I've got the camera, so I've got to, it takes me longer because I got to go down to where the black is and reload my brush. Yeah, I want to try and do this more often. Oh, I forgot to put his bolt, his electric thing, whatever, where the electricity zaps him. I forgot to paint that, so I'm going back in. I'm going to do that. So yeah, you can see I have to put my cup down because I'm holding the camera. But I don't know, here it looks like the camera is stationary now. I must have I must have put it on the ladder or something. Now I'm going to work some lines and give it some form. This is a finer, more like the script liner, like a liner brush. Doing a little cross hatching too. That's definitely a Jack Davis thing. Yeah, his line work is incredible. Just Google him, check him out. He is really fantastic. And like I said, I'll never achieve his heights of skill and everything, but I can still have fun. Trying. Yeah, we're all different too. I think of myself as a really, really good window painter. As far as window painters go, I feel like I have achieved a certain reputation. But as far as an illustrator, a full-blown, full-rounded illustrator, he's a 10 and I'd be like a 4. It's good to recognize your areas of where you're good at and where you're not, and you know, because then you can always strive for more. I like this style though, doing this though, because it's just fun. It's so kind of free-hearted. It's like you don't have to be like trying to get these perfect lines. Look at that, just like whatever. Tricky thing is knowing when to stop. It's like, how many lines do you do? How much do you crosshatch? But you can see the colors underneath. The three colors, 3 tones of green. It doesn't matter, because once you put that black on there, it brings it all together. It traps it. It's so funny when I look at this in the video, this stuff is so big. But when I'm painting it, I feel like I'm just drawing on a piece of paper. It doesn't seem that large. So I'm just being really loose and free with this. I think I'm going to go in and... Oh, I got to do this first. I don't know later on if I highlight that a little. I think I do. Here I'm just really going for it with the black. It's like, whatever. That was fun to do. Just kind of going crazy now. But you know, I think I made the blue too high, the shoulders too high. It looks a little awkward. But if I painted this on a store, nobody would probably notice. I love that right there. I love those dry lines and cutting over and cross-hatching, and But yeah, you can definitely imagine the shoulders being a little bit lower. But it's fine, it'll work. Getting close. So you see where I use the flat edge. Isn't that cool how it looks like a bunch of lines, but it's just one stroke and it creates all those beautiful lines. Because I let the brush dry out. It's like dry brush. Pretty cool. Just adding some final touches. I was thinking of making clip art too. Wouldn't it be cool to take pictures of this stuff I do and just bring it into Photoshop and make a clip art book, electronic clip art book? People could use this guy, you know, for a Halloween store or a party or whatever. I think that's it. I think that's about it. I'm just kind of putting some stuff away. Oh, now I remember I did go in and I'm gonna... Oh, I thought I already did that. I thought I already put highlights in the eye. Maybe this is just different footage. But then now I'm kind of going in and doing another highlight. See how that brought his nose out, his little side of his nose. This is so weird holding the camera, running around with it. It's like I can't. It's harder painting with one hand instead of two. But at least you can see what I'm doing. I think I'm going to kind of keep doing this particular style of painting. Or style of filming with the camera like that. I think it works. What do you guys think? Do you think it works? Do you like seeing it like that? Doesn't... Some people kind of freak out. It's like, oh my god, the GoPro, I can't see it. It's too fast and things are happening and... But most people seem to like it. Because you can... If I get that camera right in there, I can show you what I'm doing. He looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy. I'm happy with him. I think this is my favorite so far in the Halloween series. Although they're pretty cool. The Witch was cool. Happy Jack was cool. But I think I like this one even better. Oh yeah, I did go in and do some quick highlights on that one. Just to make it work, give it some form. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for putting up with me for 45 minutes. I appreciate it. And I will see you next time. And there's some links at the end too. Check them out. It's a link to subscribe and also my Patreon channel and some other stuff. Alright, see you next time. Bye.